In the muggy darkness of a summer night, 3 men were waiting aboard a Fiat Ducato belonging to the Carabinieri, parked on the riverfront road by the Tiber. They were wearing Carabinieri uniforms, but they were criminals. On the wrong side of Rome, they were known by their monikers, Botola, Lothar, and Mandrake. Botola got out of the van and looked out over the river. He pulled a Gentilini breakfast cookie out of his pocket, crumbled it up, and dropped it on the parapet. He took a few steps back and stood there, watching a seagull as it pecked away at the cookie crumbs. "I love seagulls." He got back into the van. The guy they called Lothar lit yet another cigarette and heaved a sigh. "I'm bored. What are we waiting for?" "I'm with you," said Mandrake firmly. Botola shook his head, inflexible. "Samurai said 2 o'clock exactly. Not a minute before, not a minute after. It's not time yet." The other 2 started complaining. "What are we talking about here? Just 10 minutes early? What difference could that make? And after all, going by the evidence, they were the ones out on the street, not Samurai. And what, did Samurai have eyes everywhere? Who did he think he was? God Almighty? Able to check on everything they did every second of the day?" "Well, maybe not God Almighty," Botola conceded with a sigh. "But if you talk to me about the devil, you're not far off." "Oh, sure, the devil," Mandrake said sarcastically. "He's just a human being like us. And anyway, I'm sick of it. Samurai this, samurai that. To tell you the truth, I've never seen him get his hands dirty, this samurai. He's good at talking, no two ways about it, but it's easy when other people are running the risks for you." Botola looked them up and down, with a half-smile of commiseration. They really didn't have the slightest idea. Poor jerks. "Do any of you remember Pina?" That name meant nothing to either Lothar or Mandrake. Botola told a story. "So there's this boxer from Andrione. His name is Sauro, but he goes by the nickname of Pina, Pinecone, on account of his murderous left straight. Big as a refrigerator, with arms as strong as his brains are scanty, poor old Pina. If he'd been just a tiny bit smarter, he wouldn't have gone head-to-head with Samurai over a disagreement about a drug deal. That's right, because at a certain point, after a couple of thrown bouts, the Federation revokes his boxing license, and Pina starts pushing drugs on Samurai's behalf. The thing, though, is that Pina thinks he's a smart boy. First, he starts skimming off the top. Then, when he's feeling more confident, he grabs a major shipment, sells it, pockets the proceeds, and disappears. He stays in hiding for 3 or 4 months, and then one fine day, he resurfaces. He's used the money he stole off Samurai to buy a gym. He's recruited a few big bruisers from the outskirts of town, and he's started dealing on his own. Samurai tries to bring him back into the fold with kindness, and goes down to the gym to pay him a visit. He offers him a reasonable deal, 50% ownership of the gym and his dealing operation in exchange for peace. Pina doesn't want to be reasonable. He calls his bruisers and charges in head down, 5 against 1. So Samurai puts up the defense he can muster. Still, when it's all said and done, he gets beat up pretty bad. They dump him, half dead, in an alley, and it takes a good long while for Samurai to get back on his feet. One evening, a guy no one's ever seen before comes into the gym. He starts a membership. He lifts some weights. He starts shooting the breeze with the boss's 4 bruisers. When closing time rolls around and Pina's all alone with his inner crew, the guy no one's seen before whips out a Scorpion machine pistol, the kind the terrorists used to use, and he lines them up against the wall. 5 minutes go by. Pina and his men do everything they can to get a word out of the guy, but he says nothing. At last the door swings open, and in he comes. Samurai. Under his duster, he's wearing a kimono, and he's carrying a katana, the curved razor-sharp Japanese sword. He heads straight for Pina and delivers a little sermon. He could have overlooked the money, but not the humiliation. And so, my dear Pina, he tells him, now you're going to take this sword and slice open your belly, and I'm going to watch you die. In exchange, I won't touch a hair on the heads of your hitters here. Pina starts whining. He begs Samurai's forgiveness. He acknowledges that he was wrong. He'll hand over the gym, all the drugs he has left, his list of customers and suppliers. Samurai heaves a sigh, lifts his sword, and with a single blow, lops the head off of one of his boys. Pina bursts into tears. The bruisers burst into tears. One of them steps forward and offers his services to Samurai as Pina's executioner. Samurai gives him a level look and decapitates him. You see, Pina, you don't know how to choose your men, he sighs. They aren't loyal to you. At this point, all three of them, Pina and the two survivors, made a desperate, last-ditch attack. Why am I even bothering telling you about it? Bottolo concluded. Samurai ripped him to shreds. His friend never even fired a shot. Then they shoveled the remains into trash bags and dropped them into the Tiber. Lothar and Mandrake stared at the narrator, disconcerted. That sounds like pure bull to me, Mandrake ventured. It's time, Bottolo cut him off. Let's get busy. They drove to Piazzale Clothio. The Fiat Ducato flashed its brights 3 times in the direction of the front gate of the Hall of Justice, which after a few seconds slowly started to swing open. The soldier in the guard booth walked unhurriedly over to the driver's side. He recognized Bottolo, and with a wave of his hand invited the van to move on through. At walking speed, the van proceeded up the reinforced concrete ramp that led to the parking area of Building C, where a system of armor-plated doors protected the vault of Branch Office 91 of the Bank of Rome.